Alright, so this is me in the future, and I was editing this video and I almost decided not to put it out. I decided I'd just give you a surprise ending. So make sure you stay tuned to the end, and you'll get a surprise. Now on to the video. Alright, so to begin Alright, so to begin with, working on rehabbing the fish room, getting it back in order and all that kind of stuff. First tank you see when you come in is this big one here, the 55. I say big, but it's not that 55 is not that big. But anyways, it's got this 55 here. It's got a bunch of bristlenose in it, Calmani swordtails, assorted barbs, rasboras. I think I got a few Liberty mollies in there, but it's a mess right now. It's low. Got duckweed. It's got some algae. The caves over here are just tossed everywhere. The filters are here and there, and plants have come unrooted and stuff. I've got as I've dug stuff out for swaps and stuff to share with people. So I'm going to work on redoing this tank, and we'll go from there. Alright, the first thing I did was I got these air lines that were coming down in front of the tank, got those out of the way, rerouted those a little bit. This one here was coming down, split over, fit into a T, going to another tank, and actually it wasn't going anywhere. But I got to figure out what's up with this filter, why it's not bubbling. My guess, sponge is clogged. Alright, on to the next part. Alright, so I don't want to take all the pleco caves out because there's plecos in them. Some of them probably have babies. But I want to rearrange them or something. And then I'll look at getting some of these plants back down and try to replant it. So I'll do that next. Okay, as you can see, I stacked up the pleco caves. This started the plecos, unfortunately. They started a mess, and then trying to maneuver some of the plants around, I stirred up a mess, and we got a mess. So we're going to give it a little time to settle a little bit, and then we'll get right back at it. Okay, so I've got a few plants planted, the caves stacked up clear, filled up the water a little bit more, moved the filter to the back there. You can see it's still sideways. I need to fix that. I got the wave makers on, giving it some flow. The flow should combat the duckweed a little bit, but I'm going to leave it like this for a little while, and probably in a day or two come back and work on it some more. So this is where we'll be for right now, and I will catch back up with you all whenever we work on it again. Alright, and here's this tank, and I've eliminated all of the duckweed on the surface. I still have some stuck to the walls here. I'm going to let it dry a little bit more and then clean it off, and then we'll have to clean the outside here and go from there. But I got the plants planted. I've got a piece of wood here, some rocks here and there, the caves, and I'm going to replace that filter, I believe. I'm not a fan of the suction cup ones. I cleaned the sponges on it, and it's still not performing the way that it should. And I found that with that style filter, those have those problems after a while. I'm thinking the tubing gets clogged up or something along the lines, and I'll switch to the standard weighted sponge filters like that one there. But everybody in here is doing good. the swordtails, the mollies, barbs. I found a Burmese loach that I had forgotten I put in there. The plecos are doing their things and just showing their tails. But that's this tank for now. We've got a little bubble one in the back, and we'll work on this one some more and move on to the next tank. Okay, so about maybe a week after I filmed that original part there where I went and cleaned that tank, and it was going to be my main display tank. I wasn't done with it, but the first tank that you go in and see, I was going to really aquascape it more and take care of it and get it all nice and neat. But about a week after that, I went out to the fish building to do some other stuff and walked in, and this is pretty much what I saw. This is after I already started to take care of some stuff with it and kind of go into panic mode, and I thought I need to at least take a picture of what it's like so I could include it in the end of this video. But I walked into the building and there's probably, what would you say, 30 gallons of water on the floor? Because there's probably maybe 20 there, maybe not even that, because you got to take into account all the substrate still there. But I'm not sure what happened. It was fine, and then it all of a sudden wasn't, and none of the sides are wet. It's all coming from underneath it, so I'm guessing one of the seams on the bottom split. So I went ahead and got all of the fish out of it, moved all the caves and everything, and best I can tell, I saved all the fish except for one really small one that somehow hid from me before it completely drained out. So I'm not sure what happened to that tank. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but stuff happens. You can't let it get you down. Coming in and seeing the tank I just worked on, and that I had in my mind was going to be this prized display tank, seeing it pouring water out of it like a waterfall, which is really disheartening, and it got me close to thinking about just stopping fish altogether. I've quit fish before, and I always come back to it. And that really made me think about stopping. But I realized that stuff happens. I didn't lose the fish. The tank didn't completely shatter. There's a high likelihood that I can fix it. I don't know what caused it is the biggest worry, that it could be a number of factors that could potentially impact other tanks. But that's something I just gotta think about and deal with. The other thing is I can see it as an opportunity to completely redo that tank, to completely redo that section, and potentially revamp the whole fish room. So we'll wrap it up there, and we'll get to the next tank in a little bit.